Reuters reports that Egypt's new military rulers issued a warning this week against anyone who creates chaos and disorder, according to an army source. The Higher Military Council will also ban meetings by labor unions or professional syndicates, effectively forbidding strikes, and tell all Egyptians to get back to work after the unrest that toppled Hosni Mubarak.
لتهيئة المناخ الديمقراطي الحقيقي.
Some groups in the country have continued to take a stand, holding strikes and protests, despite the return to normal life, at a time when the nation should unite to promote this positive progress and support the efforts of the Supreme Council of the Armed Forces to enable them to realize all the people's hopes and ambitions. Noble Egyptians see that these strikes at this delicate time lead to negative results.
القوات المسلحة لتحقيق.
The source said the army will also say it acknowledges and protects the right of people to protest. Protesters argued heatedly in Tahrir Square over whether to stay or comply with army orders to leave. Police officers, emboldened by Mubarak's downfall, gathered outside the Interior Ministry to demand higher pay. Workers from the Health and Culture Ministry staged demonstrations as Egyptians began venting pent-up frustrations. Thousands of workers have staged strikes, sit-ins, and protests over pay and conditions at firms and government agencies in fields such as steel, textiles, telecoms, railways, post offices, banks, and oil and pharmaceutical companies. The general managers are appointed by the sons of President Hosni Mubarak, Gamal Mubarak, and Allah Mubarak. They, the general managers, are being paid incredible salaries. They've obtained titles and positions illegally, some of them being paid up to 750,000 Egyptian pounds per month. They are assigned to improve and to add value to us, but nothing happens. Protest organizers were forming a council of trustees to defend the revolution and urge swift reform from a military intent on restoring law and order during the transition. Mahmoud Nassar, a youth movement leader, said, quote, "The army has moved far along to meet the people's demands, and we urge it to release all political prisoners who were taken before and after the January 25th revolution. Only then will we call off the protests." Protesters have demanded the release of political prisoners, the lifting of a state of emergency, the abolition of military courts, fair elections, and a swift handover to civilian rule. The army has said it would lift emergency law used to stifle dissent under Mubarak when current circumstances end, but it has not specified a timetable. Despite Mubarak's resignation, some protesters have said they plan to stay in Tahrir Square to ensure the military keeps its promises on transition.